Bro Plata. What's happening? This is Bro Plata episode number 46. We are talking the aftermath of UFC 256, the last card of the year. You can catch us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live. We also are going to have a mega dump today because my mouse finally works on all of our streaming platforms for the episodes that we have done that have had videos. You can catch that Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio. They approved us. I was very, very happy about that. And wherever else you stream your stuff, Podcast Addict is another one. I'm Ray Highclack, the sexiest bearded man in this room I am in right now, along with the sexiest bearded man to ever exist in any room he goes to, Mr. Tim Danko. Timmy, how are you, buddy?
That's a good point. Ray, I was a little concerned for a second there because you said you were going to have a massive dump. I thought you were just going to tell us about like your bathroom habits now. That was going to be a new segment. Like, what's Ray doing on the toilet today? We're having a massive dump. Thanks, Ray. We really needed to know that. Thank you.
I usually do a pre-show dump. I usually do to make sure I don't have to get up, you know.
Also, when I found out that wasn't what you were talking about, that didn't mean I actually wanted to know. So you didn't have to. Yeah. So you just made it worse.
I like to be honest.
No, but you're talking about you're finally putting up episodes. Yeah, we're on all these streaming platforms, and Ray doesn't put our episodes up. So.
Well, yeah, because I thought with my I didn't have a mouse, and all of a sudden I plug in my mouse today, and I can actually like use my mouse today. The reticle works, everything's fine. The other times we've been using this, I've had to use my pad on my laptop.
So, did you just not plug the mouse in before? That's what it sounds like.
I did.
Never
it just wouldn't work.
But it's working now. Are you sure you had it plugged in correctly?
I am positive Tim Danko technical support, which would be a great sitcom. Tim Danko technical support. It would just be you telling people to go fuck themselves all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all I can really do. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in? That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, man. This is Bro Plata. Thank you guys for showing up. The MMA podcast is what we are, but we are also sometimes a sports podcast. And Tim, and where we are, there's been some news of certain things, but we'll talk right now, though, because it was yesterday, Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens, yes, beating the Cleveland Browns, yes.
Ray, you're the worst kind of sports fan. We talked about this. You're just the worst. You don't care about football. You just want to be a dick to other people. That's not even cool. It's not funny. That's not cool. It's being a troll and being an asshole. It's not even funny.
So sports trolling is all I have. Like hockey, I troll other teams Google or their Facebook groups during the season.
Well, that just makes you a sad, pathetic human. And I hate to pour water on your own theories, but that's just kind of, I know you already think that. But now that you're telling me that makes you a sad, pathetic human. If you're sports trolling people, that's mean, man. That's not even funny.
Sports trolling can be fun if it's done. If you're not doing go kill yourself.
Root for your team to win. All right, that's all that matters. Root for your team to win.
That's what I do.
Anyway, my team didn't win last night. Browns didn't win last night. It's okay though. I told you before. I'm just happy they had a meaningful game on a Monday night, and they played really good against a good team for the most part. They didn't play defense, but their offense looked good. They got to fix some things on defense. However, Lamar Jackson is very difficult to stop. So, and then the last play of the game, before the weird lateral safety thing we had, Justin Tucker is the best kicker in football. Hit a 55-yard field goal to win it. So it is what it is, man. It's not going to hurt us too much as long as we win the games we're supposed to win, which we have 2 games back-to-back in the Meadowlands against the Giants and Jets, and then Pittsburgh at home. So should still make the playoffs.
Yeah,
but offensively, man, I feel better about the offense after last night. Baker looked pretty good, really good.
Did he?
Yeah.
I mean, they were neck and neck with Baltimore. I was keeping up with on my phone, and I was watching episodes of The Mandalorian while I was doing it. But I was keeping up, and I noticed that usually when Baltimore and Baltimore and Cleveland get together, I'm expecting a rout by Baltimore always.
That has been, historically what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I started seeing the score go into the mid-30s for both teams, I'm like, this might be a game. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I was interested in just like watching the score go up because you don't see that high of a score usually for a Browns game. So you're like, pay attention to it. And then they lost in the end, which I mean, it's kind of they have the Browns from all the years I've paid attention to Cleveland sports. And a bunch of other things. Usually, all I ever see is the second half is never the Cleveland Browns like cup of tea. Would I be right here?
Not necessarily. Well, the thing is, they've been so bad forever. The first half isn't also their cup of tea, so they just been so terrible forever. But finally, I think they have a front office and a coach. I mean, it's the first time I haven't talked shit about the coaching ever. Like, I think we have a guy. And I like him a lot. So luckily, we still got him because we almost signed him last year, but they decided to go with Freddie Kitchens. And no one picked up Stefanski as a head coach. He stayed another year with Minnesota as their OC, and we ended up getting him this year. So us passing up on him once didn't hurt us too much. But yeah, he's been doing awesome in the team. We have some defensive issues, but offensively, we have weapons and they've been playing well. The running back especially, man. Hunt and Chubb, man, fantastic last night too.
Yeah, I always see highlights on like ESPN or like Facebook of like Nick Chubb. Wasn't he the one that cost like a bunch of people the spread this year?
Yeah, that was the not Baltimore, Indianapolis game, I think maybe. I can't remember which game it was.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest,
it was Houston. It was a Houston game. It was a Houston game.
Okay.
He broke a long run late, but didn't score. Walked out of bounds at like the one on purpose so they can run the clock out. But yeah, that kept the Browns from covering the spread.
No,
which I mean, the thing is, it was the right thing for him to do. Right, it was a good team move, but all the bettors hated him. And Charles Barkley said he was going to punch him in the face.
one of my favorite podcasts I listen to is In Hot Water. And I'll be hosting for Aaron Berg on from that show at the Funny Stop. March 4th, which will be awesome. And I'm also this weekend, December 19th, I will be hosting Paradise Island in Euclid, Ohio. Tickets are $5. Go have some fun. Come see a good night of comedy and go to the bars. They need it around this time. Christmas gifts need to be bought by the owners, and it needs.
Yeah, man, you're right. If you feel safe enough to go out. Go out. Yeah,
if you don't,
I haven't been going a lot. Yeah, I haven't been
wear
going
a mask
for that reason.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
But Gino Bisconti has, who's his co-host, Aaron Berg's co-host, has the greatest thing about gambling when you lose, and it's why did he do that? To fuck over blank. That's what he did.
Right.
So it's a fun time, man. I love sports gambling stories like that.
Yeah, I mean, you ever watch? Every night on his show, Scott Van Pelt has the bad beats. You ever see those?
No.
Yeah, it's like.
Was it like Scott Farrell's picks or whatever that he would do on his website or whatever it was?
No, I don't know, but it just shows you just bad beats. I don't know, some things like a guy throwing up an unnecessary 3-pointer or a half-court shot in a basketball game that doesn't matter, but he makes it somehow, and then for that reason they cover the spread or don't cover the spread or whatever. Stuff like that, crazy stuff like that, and he has them like almost every episode. He has bad beats on there. Yeah, they're funny. Unless you're gambling, then they're not nearly as funny.
Yeah.
No, what I think you would have liked about that game is Lamar Jackson went into the locker room for a while in the second half because of cramps, apparently. Some people think he was just taking a shit. I don't know. Either way, it was cramps. And they had Trace McSorley in to play quarterback, and we were stopping him. And they had a 4th down when they really needed. And then the 2-minute warning hit in the 4th quarter. Then running out of the tunnel was Lamar Jackson, and I felt like what all they needed now is just like a smoke machine and Real American to play on the loudspeakers. Yeah. I thought about you because it seemed like a real wrestling move that he just comes out the 2-minute warning. There he is, right? Runs out for 4th down, throws a touchdown pass, first play, ties the game up. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's like Wild Thing Ricky Vaughn in Major League. You can just hear "You make my heart sing," and he has his helmet in his hand, and he's some triumphant horn.
Maybe.
I can hear triumphant horns.
Like they had a camera back there by the locker room door, and they show 2-minute warning, and they show him just sprinting out right after the 2-minute warning to come on, grabs his helmet, goes on the field, throws a touchdown pass, and then they get the 2-point conversion after that to tie it up. So
yeah, he probably had some bad Chipotle or something. I'm gonna almost guarantee he had some kind of runs going on, and I'm not talking on the field.
I don't think that was to tie it up. I think it was the go ahead because the Browns tied it up right after that, and then they got the field goal. Either way, it was something like that. Yeah, it's 2-minute warning, so it was the go ahead. But yeah, that's what it looked like. He was hero status. Good for him. He played really well. We couldn't stop him. So
I can't wait for the biopic, Lamar's Dump, based on a true story, and he beats the Browns that way.
Showbomb.
There'll be more of them as they come here today, folks.
The atomic Showbomb Ray Hotclack.
Oh, Bikini Island doesn't have the kind of bombs dropped on it that this show does by me. I'm fully aware. There's another one.
All day.
Something I wanted to talk to you about because you're a big baseball guy, and you're a big fan of this team. And I'm wearing. I wore this sort of on accident. It's a Buzzer MMS T-shirt with the Cleveland Indians logo on it, or the buzzard in the Indians uniform. But yeah, they're announcing they're looking into a new name. Cleveland Indians are, and what do you think about that?
Well, originally what they said is they're looking into changing it, and this new news is that they're definitely going to change it. Yeah, they didn't say when. For what they're saying is they're going to keep the name until they have something ready to go. And I highly doubt they're going to do a whole franchise makeover with logo and a name and everything in 2 or 3 months because spring training starts in March. So I'm assuming one more year the Indians, and then they're going to switch things up, which doesn't surprise me. I guess I could go really hard Captain Easy stance on this. And just I
want you to be as honest.
I said I could and act like I'm, I can stand on the rooftop and shout how happy I am about this. Then immediately stop talking about the fact that they are changing it and just be mad about the 100 years they didn't change it. As if I get really pissed off enough, a time machine will miraculously appear and we can change all those things. That's how people argue about things, right? It's not that they're going to change. You're like, well, we didn't for 100 years, so let's get pissed about it, right? I could do that. I'm not going to quite do it, but sometimes, Ray, the right thing is a bummer. Sometimes in life, doing the right thing is kind of a bummer, and I think this one is because it's definitely the right thing. Like I'm not gonna say it's not wrong. It's 100% the right thing to do, and it should have been done a long, long time ago. But I'd be lying to say if I'm not gonna miss it. I know it's the right thing, and I know I kind of feel like an ass to say like I'm gonna miss it, but I am, and I kind of wish it didn't need to happen, but it did need to happen, right? And it's going to happen. I think. What it reminds me of is like if you have a dog that you love to death and you had it forever, right? This dog, but it keeps biting people, right? It doesn't bite everyone. It definitely has never bit you, but it's definitely biting some people, right? So you keeping that dog would be really irresponsible of you, and you'd be a super dick for keeping that dog because he's biting some people. And that's kind of what's going on here. That name was biting some people. So therefore, it's a sports team. They're supposed to be uplifting, right? They're not supposed to be offensive to anyone, right? So it's offensive to any group of people, especially people that have been disenfranchised so long, right? Yeah. Like the Native American community. Then you don't want it, man. And it has taken a long time for them to finally realize it, but it's happened. Yeah, and am I gonna miss the tribe? Yes, of course. But is the right thing? Also, yes, of course. What I'm worried about is the new name because I think a lot of people like the Cleveland Spiders, and I hate it. I hate that. I mean, they'll be my favorite baseball team no matter what they're called, but I hate it. One of the reasons is because the Cleveland Spiders were a National League team. There you go, explain your titty. This team, the Cleveland Indians were never the Cleveland Spiders. The Cleveland Spiders were a completely different franchise. They're a National League team. So that's one of the reasons I don't like it. I just don't like the name. I don't like spiders. They creep me out, man. Dude. Right, and what they're going to start doing weird, quirky shit, like having tarantulas and shit around the ballpark. I don't want that. Like in cages, like you're sitting at the bar, and there's a tarantula in a box next to you. I don't want that shit.
It would bring a quandary, and I've thought about this while reading articles and stuff. Like, what are they going to do with Slider? Is it now going to be an arachnid if they go
No,
with
I don't think it'll change.
Sliders?
Slider's nothing. Slider's just a weird alien.
Well, I
don't even
know
know-
that, but sometimes they they retire mascots because they were a part of that.
Dude, more
then
people
do
will be
another
pissed.
one.
More people would be pissed if they got rid of Slider. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, and I'm
Slider
thinking
isn't anything. It isn't anything. Slider's like gritty with the flyers. It's not anything. It's just a weird alien monster.
Yeah.
So, unless someone's going to say that it was based on something, I don't know. It's not. It's a freaking alien. Slider is just Slider.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be more disappointed if they got rid of Slider. We need Slider. In the new uniform, we need Slider. And maybe if we have another mascot too beside him, that'd be fine. But we have to keep Slider for sure.
I agree.
Some of the names, some of the old names I like. Naps would be fine. That's with the old name before the Indians they were named after Nap Lajoie. So they're called the Naps. I'd be fine with that. Lake Shores I like a lot because they can call them the lakes or the shores or lake shores or whatever. In 1903, for 1 year, they were called the Cleveland Molly Maguires. That'd be great to bring that back. All right, we're done with the Native Americans. Let's go after the Irish now. Like with the Molly Maguires, like where they blew shit up, right? They were I don't know if I'm gonna call them domestic terrorists, but they may have been. I don't know. They blew shit up, right? They were an Irish American group of protesters that did stuff, I believe.
We have a thing from Jorge De La Rosa
Thanks,
that
Jorge.
he wanted to get in here, so I'll give him his
buddy.
couple second of fame here.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man. Go watch a lot of his films. Sick. What's the name of the film company?
Is it Dick Balls, Dick Balls, Dick Balls?
Dick Balls, Dick Balls, Dick Balls, I believe is the name of his production company. Go check that out.
Slow Mutants is the name of it.
No, you play along, and then hopefully
Yeah.
he gets a .com for it. I think that'd be kind of funny. I like the name of this one just because I'm a conspiracy theorist of my own heart. The Cleveland Mole Men would be kind of fun. That would be a good one. Actually,
Dude, I'm pushing hard for the Molly Maguires. I'm on that boat.
I see. My thing with this whole thing is one, I'm gonna be glad that the protesters are gone. Because like that, it's sometimes those people got like the drunk white people would always get violent with them, and you're just like, dude, what the fuck? So there's a safety issue that's getting taken away from this in a good way, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I usually would just see them like the first week of the season, right? If you go up like opening day, they'd be their opening day.
That's what I'm talking about. The opening day protest will stop, which is awesome.
Right. Now you get some. I want to get some like I don't know what's arachnologist. Is that spider doctors? I want them to come and start getting pissed about the spiders logo or degrading the great arachnids.
You mean the entomologists? People who study like insects and arachnids and all that? Yeah.
Wouldn't arachnologist, wouldn't it be a spider doctor? I don't know. I could be making words up. I don't know.
There's no doctor for spiders.
Are you sure?
Positive.
So what we need, a producer.
Veterinarians might be pissed if they use a tarantula. I'm not sure. Because then it would just be a danger.
No, you know what? I don't like spiders. I like tarantulas, right? So we can call ourselves the trans for short.
Oh, God.
Then they get something. Whoa! It's just short for tarantula, and then we get all new kind of protesters. And then after one season, we have to change it again.
It's sponsored one night, sponsored by the Hawk. Yeah, have you ever been to the Hawk?
No.
Oh, it's a gay bar right on Detroit Road next to a punk rock bar called Now That's Class that used to do an open mic there. See, it's not funny if I have to explain it, Tim Danko.
I know, man. I get most of your references. I don't get the deep Cleveland ones because I don't live up there, man. I go up there. I don't know all the places.
Bounce? Have you ever heard of that?
What?
Have you ever heard of Bounce?
Bounce? Also,
yeah. No. Okay. It was a cool gay bar. Same road, actually.
The most I remember is the one. What was the one at Highland Square? Square Bar, right? Is that the one?
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember. And then there's one in the Akron called the Inner Belt.
Ah, yeah, I've heard of the Inner Belt from Pound Cake on the Alan Cox show. Shout out to Bill Squire and Mary Santora.
It's been a minute. I've been to the Inner Belt before, but it's been several years. But anyway, yeah, there's our gay bar talk.
Gay. Yo,
Also, Ray, you don't get
to
you don't
a
get to
K-pop.
say you don't get a Lincoln Six. Is that the name of that band?
Huh.
Electric Six. Electric Six.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking the video. The video is all Abraham Lincoln's, right? And it's that's what I was thinking of the Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, check out the video. It's hilarious. Anyway, you don't get a say in this, Ray. You're not an Indian sports fan, a Cleveland Indians fan, a Cleveland.
No, but I went to enough opening days in my life
I
where
don't care. You don't get a say.
I do because I live here.
You think it's all fun and games now, Ray? When the Somalian Pirates get all pissed about your baseball team.
I see. My thing is, I'm all for it. Like I'm all for getting rid of the Native American stuff, and because there was a lot of violence and a lot of stuff that did happen to the Native Americans that was, not their fault. It was just, what the time was. And it's nice that we're moving on. I want the spiders. I think that would be a dope thing. Although I used to work in pest control, so spiders are my thing.
You don't get a vote. However, a lot of people are also with you, and I'll get over it if that's what it is. I just hope it has good logos and stuff. Don't change the colors. I don't think we're going to. Still be red and blue, navy and red. I'll be fine with that. I'll get over it if it's spiders, but I think there's just better options.
See, I also don't want them to be called the I don't like the Guardian thing. I like that.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of what we call them for short, right? Because the Indians are also the tribe, right? So I'm like, you got to have a nickname for the nicknames, right?
Yeah.
Like in the Guardians, we just call them the Guards. Let's go Guards. Yeah. Guardians.
Guards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Guards. Spiders, you don't really have anything. Let's go, Spidey. Come on, Spidey. No. Now, if Tom Holland throws up the first pitch of the first game, I'd be fine with that.
Oh my God. If they name themselves the Spiders and don't have fucking either Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, or Toby fucking Maguire, Toby Maguire would be the one I'd shit myself on because that was my Spider-Man that I love a lot.
And then we'll set up a poker game with them for after the game.
Possibly. That'd be fun. I like it. But no, the Guardians one, I don't know. I like the statues. They're pretty cool when you're going into the West Side Market. But I
bet we could pull that Tom Holland thing off, man, because he was going to a bunch of Browns game with the Russo brothers when they were making cherry. They're probably Indian fans too, so we can pull that off, man. We can get Tom Holland at an Indians game throwing out the first pitch or Spiders game.
Like I said, dude, if they do call themselves the Spiders, Jorge De La Rosa getting another gem here. The Cleveland Colonial Powers.
Why not? Let's go the other direction with it. Why not?
Exactly. Oh, that one's awesome. I like that one. It's just like dudes in those like judge white wigs you see like judges in England wear and just standing all stoically. Full thing is him standing on the neck of an indigenous person. That was
no matter what the name is, I now want to see Slider in one of those wigs, those Bannister wigs. Yeah.
I think I've seen like the Philly Fanatic wear one like a wig once and like a thing.
That makes sense from Philadelphia. Yeah, that makes sense. A little more sense.
Yeah. I love that though. But yeah, man, I'm all for the name change. It's time we kind of move past all of that. There is history. It's not like the Cleveland Browns when they moved to Baltimore and then had to sue for like the trademarks and all that kind of stuff. Like this will have that history, and you can still say like pre-Indians, and then whatever they're called, or pre-whatever the name is, and then post-Indians. I will always be there.
I just hope that they don't pretend it's like a different franchise. It's the same franchise, just change the name. If they even pretend it's a different franchise, like this is the first time this happened since they've been the Spiders. I'm like, no, they're the same damn team. We have won World Series in 1948. That was the last one. They're the same damn team. We just changed the name. All right. Don't pretend like we were a different team. We're not a different team. We just have a different nickname. We're still the Cleveland American League Baseball Club, the same damn team. All right, just a different nickname. All right.
Yeah.
European soccer teams, a lot of them don't even have nicknames, man. That's like they make fun of the Washington football team, but that's like what things are over in Europe, man. Like Chelsea or whatever, FC, whatever.
And even like, the MLS, they have some of the teams that don't really have like logos. They just have names.
Yeah. So, I think like FC Cincinnati is one.
Yeah. Miami is one of them.
I think Miami is Real Miami, isn't it?
No.
I think it is.
Real Salt Lake, I thought it was.
Oh, is it? Or maybe it's no, it's not Real. It's it's gonna drive me nuts. I can't think. It's another one of those commonly used football names, but I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, because I know Real Salt Lake because of going to like or living in Denver. They would always play the Rapids, the team out there, and there was always advertisements for like games every I think it was like month they would come in because they were in the same division.
I'm gonna say that's probably a big rivalry, man. That's probably the same thing with the now champion of the MLS Columbus Crew and the NFC Cincinnati. They're close to each other.
Probably
close to each other.
I would hope so. But yeah, man, I'm like I said, I'm all for it, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. If it's dumb, if I think it's dumb, I'm gonna, I'm gonna troll the shit out of it. But if it's like awesome, let's party. I'll wear a jersey that says it. I don't give a shit.
No matter what it is, man. If it's if it was the Cleveland Danko sucks, I'd still wear the jersey, right? It's still the team.
I would hope you were the back.
It's not going to be a popular name. I think the Cleveland race sucks would be better. This makes more sense. It's more of a Cleveland tradition.
Yeah, but Danko like falls off the tongue a little better with the word "sucks" next to it. I think
that's not my fault.
Danko sucks. It's
my fault.
There's an exclamation point at the end. It's beautiful, man. I love it. But I love you. You know what else I love, sir?
What?
You know what else I love, sir?
I don't know what. What do you love?
MMA fights, and we had a wild ass card this past Saturday. Holy balls, sir!
Yeah,
whew.
Yeah, it was fun.
After the first prelim, I needed a goddamn cigarette. It was great, like because Chase Hooper is now one of my favorite jiu-jitsu practitioners in the UFC, bro.
Yeah, I like his stand-up defense, which is no defense. It's block the punches with your face.
Yeah. And that's kind of what DC said he had to do in order to win this fight was like take a couple to get inside on a guy or on Peter Barrett, man. And he did a wonderful job of basically being a punching dummy for 2 rounds.
Yeah, Peter Barrett was beating this kid up for 13 minutes. And then Hooper kept trying to get him down. And the thing is, you couldn't even get distance. So the only way he was able to get him down was the MMR roll, which how often do you see those even work? Not that often, man.
Barely. Like Tony Ferguson, who we'll talk about later, is one of those like Imanari roll masters who's pulled it off a good amount of times. But Chase Hooper, when he pulled that Imanari, I was like, what is this fucking kid doing? Like, why are you even trying now? Because he looked wobbly. His leg was fucked. He took a nice inside leg kick from Barrett that put him down at one point. Like, he fell, and then the Barrett's had him stand up or had him get stood up. But, man, like, Chase, the balls on this kid to go in. And he was the bigger fighter. We've talked about that in the past of fighters not using their range or their length to their advantage, and he really didn't do that in this fight.
No, I mean, he obviously, that's what he needs to improve on the most, right? He's been training for a while, but it's mostly been his ground game, obviously, right? They were saying it on the broadcast. This kid is, he's doing trial by fire, man, trying to learn how to be a complete fighter in the UFC, right? The thing is, dude, he's winning. He's won 2 of his 3 fights, right? So by submission. So what are you going to do? You got to cut a guy because he's winning? I don't think so, man.
No.
He's winning. He ended up getting that win. I mean, he needed a bit of a miracle finish, and he got one with that roll and then that fantastic ankle lock.
Man, it was, and I love the DC still has they give DC a telestrator because like he was breaking down that ankle lock just perfectly. And he did it I love how he did it. He did it like a jiu-jitsu instructor because it made sense to me when he started talking about it. And then he was like, show me that chest. And once he went right to his back for full pressure, I could definitely like see that. And this kid,
when he arched his back, get the leverage on the ankle lock there. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah. It was insane, man. I, as a jiu-jitsu guy, as a guy who really likes to roll and get in there, get on the mats. It's always pretty when you can see that kind of just jujitsu at that level on a 21-year-old, because he's been doing this since he was 13 or something like that.
Yeah, there's something like that.
So like it's a beautiful thing, and for him just to throw out basically BDE by going in on that fucking Imanari roll was insane, dude. Like the big dick energy on this kid, just to have the balls to pull that off and go, I'm gonna fucking try. Because we've seen in the past ankle lock attempts and heel hook attempts go completely wrong in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was did you have that thought of like, this kid's fucked, he's gonna get hit and like probably get into like side control at that point? I thought.
Well, also before that happened, he showed that he was better on the ground than Barrett was, but so you figured he knew what he was doing, especially compared to Barrett. But he was getting punched a lot before that. I mean, if one thing that we know about Chase Hooper that you can't teach is the kid got a chin. Like, dude, that dude was throwing bombs at him, and he just kept coming forward, man, the whole time. And he's kept coming forward and weathering the storm enough to finally get a shot at the ankle lock, and he did. I mean, his Contender Series fight was the same thing. I watched that recently. He was getting beat up for like 2.5 rounds, but ended up finishing the guy. So he does that, man. He has a heck of a chin, dude. So good for him. He's a durable kid for sure.
Yeah, dude. Like watching his like young man Fro get just thrown back by those shots was a little disconcerting. Like, I didn't like the fact that he just allowed Barrett just to tee off on him for a few rounds. Kind of sucked and Barrett obviously looked like the more confident striker too, which like
by a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and when you see a guy like that who, I mean, they were giving him, and even the announcer said he was pitching a shutout until that Imanari roll. Like, I don't even know how to. It blows my mind that this kid pulled it off. Like, I'm still in awe of Chase Hooper for having that mindset, just to be like, all right, we're done.
Yeah,
let's see what happens.
And good for him for pulling it off. However, if he keeps fighting like this, he keeps getting beat up for 13 minutes and then pulling something off, even if he's winning, he's going to get killed eventually, because he's you can't have fights like that all the time, because he got beat up a lot. He took a lot of shots in that fight. And he may be able to handle it a bit more because he's a young dude. He's only 21 and he's durable, obviously, and he has a good chin, obviously. But you can't do that forever. So hopefully his stand-up keeps getting better and better.
Yeah. For sure. And that comes with age. I mean, it's one of those things they were even saying on the broadcast about the fact that, this kid's gotten thrown to the lions since for how God knows how long now. And it's kind of he started to show a little bit of maturity towards the end of that fight. And I think hopefully that boils over into his next attempt, because I'm excited for that, man. Let's talk about this fight, because this fight ended quickly. After the first round, Sam Hughes and her corner called the fight over eye poke. She couldn't see out of her eye. Just a bad night all around for her. Tisha Torres gets the win by TKO after the first round. What did you think about this fight?
Dude, Tisha Torres looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
She's never looked that good. She looked fantastic. I mean, yeah, she was fighting a late replacement, and good for Sam Hughes for coming in and taking that super tough fight. We were talking about that on Saturday before the fights happened. This is a super tough fight for anyone to take their first UFC fight, obviously. But Torres looked as good as she's ever looked, man. She looked super fast. She looked super crisp. And I think it was punches to that left eye that fucked her eye up. I mean, she said right after the first round she couldn't see, so they had to call the fight, right? You can't fight if you can't see. But Torres looked fantastic, man. It was a bummer she couldn't fight Angela Hill again, because that was supposed to happen. But and she was ready to go, obviously. And this poor Sam Hughes got the brunt of all of that. So Torres looked great, and I'm excited to see her fight again. She looked fantastic. Yeah,
Torres looked very crisp with her striking. Definitely the faster fighter out of the two that we had. And yeah, the mouse that was underneath Sam Hughes' eye as well, because she had a little bit of swelling. I think it was under the eye she couldn't see.
Yeah, she had a mouse, but also her eye was like black. It was dark. It was a different color than the other one. So yeah, you can tell she's deaf. Hopefully she can see now because it was bad. I mean, you could tell her eye got fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't see a report or an injury report on her online yet, so we'll keep up looking at that. But yeah, Tisha looks good, man. For because this is 115, am I right?
Yeah, this is the deepest division they have for the women. Yeah, there's killers in that whole division, and she's definitely one of them. And she's like top 10, but they have a lot of killers in that division.
For sure.
Her and I talked about her partner, her girlfriend, Duran. I want a reality show about those two and their relationship.
I thought it was Raquel Pennington.
Raquel Pennington? Okay.
Yeah, I think she's dating Raquel Pennington.
Okay, I could be wrong. I don't know why I said
Jermaine Durand to me.
Yeah,
I thought she had like a husband or something.
Oh, maybe it's Pennington. It must be Pennington then. Anyway,
yeah.
I apologize. Anyway, I want to see a reality show about their relationship because I'm really curious about that. Like two fighters, they're the same gender fighters. So do they beat the hell out of each other in practice and then go eat dinner? And then do whatever else they do. Like that'd be weird. That'd be interesting. I mean, there's definitely other fighters that are dating each other, obviously, but a lot of them, they're not the same gender. So I'm wondering if they just go to war constantly. I'm curious, man. It'd be interesting. I'm not saying they want to have cameras into their life, but I'm just interested how that relationship goes. Just because, like, they're not going to take it easy on each other. You wouldn't think.
No.
Yeah, when they're sparring. So I don't know. Like,
I'm not sure.
Do I think that Tim Elliott and his lady, who I can't remember her name, she just fought last week, do they go hard at each other? They probably spar hard, but I'm sure Tim Elliott doesn't go full bore on her, right?
I would hope not.
You wouldn't think so, even though they do fight in the same weight class. But no, I doubt it. But with them, I'm surprised, man. They really did they beat the hell out of each other?
No,
I would. Dinner? I don't know. I'm curious, man. It'll be weird. I don't know. It's not weird. It's just interesting. I don't know.
I would see the reality show. I would think whoever like is in the bigger organization, I would assume the breadwinner of a relationship, you're going to want to take care of that person. So it's probably like they don't even strike. They just like roll with each other, if anything, and like train jujitsu and grappling.
What weight class Pennington fight in? I forget.
Isn't she 125?
I think she's bigger than strawweight. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Let's look it up right now. Raquel Pennington. There we are. And she is in the 135 division. So she's got 20 pounds on her girlfriend at any time, which is interesting if you think about it. You know who I was watching and wish like would make an MMA comeback? I'm not going to lie.
Who, Ray?
Gina Carano.
It's not going to happen.
I'm aware.
Number one, she's like 180 now. She's a beast.
She's her and the Mandalorian. I'm all over every day.
I'm sure you are.
Oh my god, the thickness! It's so nice.
She's like a running back in the Mandalorian. But no, there's no way. I mean, there's talks of her possibly getting into Marvel. There's some weird talks of her replacing Brie Larson. I don't know if that will happen, but I've heard.
No, well, she's already established in the Deadpool universe.
Yeah, those character's like a one-off though. Like I don't think that character's coming back.
She played Ajax. Oh no, she didn't play Ajax. She played fuck, I can't remember her name. Can't remember. Darn. Angel. Yeah. So
yeah, but she had like 3 lines in that whole movie, and then it was. It's not a big deal.
It's establishment, sir.
It's not a big deal. She won't be back in that character, I don't think.
But again, her as Miss Marvel, Brie Larson's already been her. How would you go from one to the other?
I don't know. This is what I'm hearing because a lot of people don't like Brie Larson for some reason. I don't know why.
I can understand.
There's a lot of people who don't like Gina Carano either. This is weird. Gina goes against the establishment, though.
Right. Like, she's on Parlor, for God's sake.
She's going to say she was about to say she's going to be in this year's calendar, the women of Parlor. She's going to be
yes. Hopefully, it's either January or December, so I can start or end my year on a happy note. Because I will buy that.
If anyone would have the women of Parlor calendar, it'd be Ray Hucklack.
Usually conservative women are hotter. I don't know what it is. They're all that Fox News babe like stuff. Oh, come on. If you look at Fox News, they intentionally know their audience. Aggressive
I know they do.
conservative
I know
men.
they do. I know they do.
So obviously they're gonna get dolled up for that. I'm all down for it. Like, let's go for it, baby. Yeah. Who's that angry conservative chick on Fox News?
Which one? There's a lot of them, dude.
She's
Are
like
you kidding me?
She's like young. Forget her name.
Tommy Lahren.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one you're talking. However, there's a lot of very angry conservative women on Fox News. That's mostly what their network is.
Yeah.
But that's the one you're talking about. She's the newest one. She's the youngest one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but Tommy is just woo. Yes. But let's move on before the
show pervert Ray Hacklock, everybody.
Let's move on before toxic masculinity takes over.
Right. Big business Ray Hacklock.
I say I'm gonna make these boys fight for a penny.
You just became Foghorn Leghorn now too.
Get away, son! You're bothering me. I love Foghorn Leghorn. Gavin Tucker beats. Oh God, we have beach balls. That's how
found a beach ball. Found a beach ball.
What is it?
It's a beach ball.
Oh, I said it's a beach ball.
Yeah, I said it's a beach ball. I found a beach ball. Just happened to be here down by my chair. My nieces play down here, and apparently they had a beach ball.
Ooh.
So now there's a beach ball on the show.
Yeah, and also your lovely dogs.
What? Oh,
your lovely dog.
My crusher here. Yeah, I'll get some other. Here's Tim Couch. I'll get some other knickknacks. I'll switch it up every once in a while.
I'm waiting on the tapestry, sir. I've got the redneck sweat or redneck drapes right now.
I found one I like. I think I'm gonna buy it. I haven't decided yet.
Ooh, I like it. But yeah, let's talk about the Gavin Tucker Billy Quarantillo fight. What was your thoughts on this fight, Timmy?
This was fun, dude. Gavin Tucker looked awesome. Yeah. This was like a battle of like a very technical striker and give me one more beard, I'll beat this fucker up kind of striker, and that's what Billy Quarantino is, which I love. I love that always. But Tucker was really, really crisp and looked really, really, really good, and outpointed Quarantillo quite a bit. It hit him hard. I mean, sometimes you say outpointed and you act like he didn't beat this dude up. He beat this dude up. He looked really good.
Yeah, Billy's face was kind of messed up. So was Gavin's. And yeah, I liked this. This was a great fight right after a downer moment with Sam Hughes. I like the fact that these guys went to a decision. And it was a good fight, man. It was fun. That's all I can really say. Went to a decision. If you didn't watch it, really good choice of everything. We'll get to some judging later because there's some little bit of controversy on some of the fight, on some of it. On this card, I mean, not the fight itself.
There's only 3 decisions, right? 3 decisions on 10
3
fights.
decisions. And we're going into one of them that was not a decision. Renato Moicano versus Rafael Fiziev. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try.
Fiziev.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems right. Fiziev. Yeah. Dude. Ray. Fiziev. Dude. This guy is a monster, dude. This guy's Muay Thai. This guy is sick. His stand-up is amazing. He's so fast.
Quick, dude. Yeah.
He's so fast, and he's so much power, dude. It's like his kicks, like he doesn't even load up, but he puts so much power in those kicks that just come out of nowhere because he doesn't like load up. He doesn't telegraph them at all. They just come. It's like if a guy tried to hit a home run with a baseball swing and started with a bat over the plate. That's what it seems like. It's like a wrist flick and was able to hit home runs. That's what those kicks seem like, because it's all of a sudden just boom, right? You're so quick, it's so fast, it's so hard. But this dude knocked these guys out with a couple hands, right? Was it the right
hook?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he looked awesome.
When Moicano's, because this was stopped by our boy Chris Taioni.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, for a minute, I thought Chris Taioni had got it wrong again. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, stop giving this dude shit. It's usually not his fault.
I'm aware. That's why but I will give Chris Taione this.
Yeah, he was right.
Moicano's head ricocheted off of the back of or onto the mat pretty goddamn hard. Like you could hear it throughout the whole thing and even on the broadcast feed of just and after seeing it and he's seeing the replay, great stoppage because this kid landed hard. Moicano did on the mat. I was like, Jesus Christ.
You can't talk shit about a stoppage when a guy is getting out, complaining about the stoppage, it falls over again. Like that's what happened. After he fell over again. So he was done, right? So
that's what I'm saying.
When he stands up and falls over, you don't have much to complain about, bro. You're done.
And again, my mind changed once I saw his head ricochet off. Once that, usually I won't challenge it if it's like an obvious one. I mean, we'll talk about the Kevin Holland one here in a hot minute because I want to talk about that. Somebody's getting a trapper keeper, by the way.
I love Kevin Holland. If I told you that.
But yeah, man, this knockout was pretty fucking sexy. It was everything you want in just like complete fashion of a knockout, which is guy goes limp, guy's head hits, we're done. Get a Karate Kid, get him a body bag. It's over, bro. We're done. And it was fun. It's always nice, especially after a decision and it gets ramped up again. You'll get this reference. It's like being at a comedy show where like the host sucks and then like there's a guest spot and that dude just in 5 minutes like erupts the room into what it should be when like the host, what the host's supposed to do. And then you go on and you follow that guy and you're like, yes, this is the greatest shit ever. The fucking guest spot was that decision in the previous fight. But all of a sudden that final punchline from the guest set all of a sudden turned it into the knockout from Fiziev, which was awesome. I love
I mean, I think that, I understand what you're saying, and that does happen a lot, but I think you got to give more credit to Tucker and Quarantino, and that was a good fight.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, but there's that, you get the eye poke, and then you get a decision that was a great thing, and then all of a sudden Fiziev's thing is like that last punchline that you need to like close on like a, clapping and laughing kind of thing.
I know what you're saying. There have been other times where this analogy would have worked better than now because I think
probably, yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, keep that one in the back pocket. You can use it another time. All right. Yeah, keep it in the back pocket. Use that one again. This time, I don't think it was perfect, but it's not a bad analogy. Keep it in the back pocket. All right.
I will try, sir.
All right, now where are we? Oh, I got Cubby.
Yes, let's talk about old man Cubby coming in again and proving that there is youth in Cub Swanson. Got injured at, I believe it was the team tournament between wasn't it Jake Shields that hurt him?
Yeah, it was Jake Shields.
Who hurt you? Jake Shields. That's actually a good person to hurt you. I'm not going to lie. Cub Swanson winning by KO against Daniel Pineda. This fight was everything I wanted out of a Cub Swanson return, and I was very happy. What'd you think?
Yeah, good for him, right? I kind of forgot that Pineda was the guy who beat up Herbert Burns. I forgot about that fight. He looked great in that fight, right? He wasn't supposed to win that fight, and he looked great against a really tough dude, Herbert Burns, who they plan on being a superstar at some point, like his brother. But he had a great fight, and Pineda looked great in the first round for a minute. And that back tattoo he has creeps me out, man. It looked like that thing was gawking into my soul. The big yellow eyes. That thing, it's creepy. I mean, it's cool.
You mean the unfinished Kabuki mask?
You know what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that thing. I mean, it's cool looking. But it looked like it was staring at me,
It's a Japanese demon warrior kind of thing.
I thought it was figured something like that. But Pineda looked good for a minute there until Cub clocked him with a right. And after that, he was definitely hurt because he was hurt in between rounds and then came out. And then Cub ended up finishing him in the second round with that good combo. Right, left, right. Boom. That big right. Put him to the floor. And he was done. Good for Cub, man.
Fuck yeah.
Also good for Cub for making adjustments after the first round because his leg was getting beat up. That injured leg was getting beat up. He ended up switching stances and ended up winning the fight, that knockout. Pretty sweet. Pretty happy for him. He's been out a minute and got another big win.
Yeah, man, I'm happy that Cub Swanson's back in winning form. Was kind of worried at like one of the fights that I got proven right on. Coming up on the main card. After an injury can do a lot to a guy, and it depends on who you know, and it was mostly that. I don't know. It does when you get injured, it sucks as an athlete because your mind gets fucked with. You feel like, what am I going to do now? I've had a few injuries in hockey that have fucked with my head a lot over the years. My hip comes to mind for sure. But yeah, man, it's great to see a guy like Cub Swanson come back from a devastating leg injury like he did, to put him out for months. And it definitely, it's nice to see him win because I like Cub Swanson. He deserves that kind of shit, man. He's always been one of the toughest dudes in his division. And yeah, I'm excited. This fight I was not so excited for, but I'm glad that it ended the way it did. Junior Dos Santos versus Cyril Gane.
Yeah, this wasn't too much of a surprise, right? We pretty much called this one.
Yep.
Like we said, I wasn't going to get fooled like I did last time and thought that maybe DDS's experience would help him like against Rosenstrike. I figured that Rosenstrike knocked him out. I think Gane was going to knock him out too, and he did. Now let's see what's going on with Junior Dos Santos. He's lost 4 in a row, but he's lost to 4 really, really tough people. Right?
Yeah.
It was Rosenstrike, Blades, Gane, and who was the first one?
Was it Stipe? Was it last?
No, it was Nagano. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all killers, man. But, he hasn't looked great against really any of them. So we'll see, man. But Gane looked great, kind of what everyone expected from him. Man, that guy's long. He's tall, and his legs are so long. He fights even longer than he is tall. That makes sense. Just because of the way he throws his kicks and whatnot. But, dude, he's sick. He's slick. They just moved him up to, the top 7 or something in the division. So his next fight, I'm going to guess his next fight's going to be Rosenstrike because he's, the one guy who hasn't matched up yet, and that makes a lot of sense. And I would like that fight a lot. Those are a couple killers. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that would be a good test for Cyril, and see how he does against Rosenstrike, who in his own right is a lanky guy, and really quick on the feet, and had, I mean, for God's sakes, he gave Alistair Overeem a nice scar on his lip, for fuck's sake. That kind of power that comes out of that guy.
Rosenstrike? Yeah.
To turn somebody into the Predator? Hell yeah. He turned Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, I thought they might run that fight back. They may still do it at some point, but because Overeem, that Rosenstrike fight, Overeem was winning that fight the majority of the time until he got finished there at the end. But Overeem's fighting Volkov next. So that should be good. But yeah, Rosenstrike's not matched up yet, so I figured probably for almost positive he'll fight Gane next. I'll be surprised if he didn't fight Gane next.
It would be a fun fight to watch, man.
Yeah, man, it's a good matchup for sure.
Tim Danko, you goddamn son of a bitch, you sexy man.
My boo. My dude right here.
Kevin Holland is a cyborg. I'm officially going out on a limb and saying I had a high thought one time, and Kevin Holland and Joaquin Phoenix have sort of given credit to this, where I believe that UFC is really just like, now they're androids because of some of the shit they can do, and they're all run by different tech companies' operating systems, and whoever wins moves on in some weird black site computer program, and that's the one you're going to use because it can think on its feet the quickest. Because Kevin Holland, how the fuck did he do what he did? From his ass, he throws a goddamn shot, and then from his knee decides to, I'm going to knock him now. What the fuck? How the hell? I'm confused.
If Kevin Holland is a cyborg, then he has the most powerful personality chip ever created. That dude is all personality, and that's what makes him great. Not only that, he talks so much shit. He's so much fun. He's awesome. He dances. I love everything about this dude. And then he goes in and knocks Jacare out from his ass.
I know.
From his ass, Ray. That hook, boom, on his ass, and it gets up and knocks him out from a knee. Dude, only Kevin Holland can knock guys out from his ass. It's like they were saying all the time. It's not like he goes to the gym and practices ass hooks.
No.
Like, let's do a round on the bag from my ass. No one does that. But Kevin Holland can just do it, man. And he's Kevin Holland. And then he tried to fight Hamzat next week. I really wish they would let that happen because that'd be amazing. But dude, I love Kevin. Ray, have I told you how much I love Kevin Holland? Kevin Holland is without a doubt my favorite fighter in the UFC, man. He's definitely up there now, man. I love him. Up there with Stipe and Cody. He's up there. I love Kevin Holland to death, man. He's now one of my favorites for sure. I want to have him on the show more than just about anybody else on earth now. He's the man. He's the man. He looks so good. 5-0. Not only 5-0 in 2020. Dude, his first fight in 2020 was in May. So May, 7 months. He had 5 wins in the UFC. 5 wins in 7 months. Dude. And it's a beast.
And I mean,
like Darren Stewart and this guy right here, Jacare.
And if you don't, he beat a former contender in Jacare, which to me kind of like now Kevin Holland should be in the honestly, he should be next in line after the 185 situation gets taken care of between Robert Whittaker, who is fighting who's he fight? Paulo Costa. Found that out recently.
Okay.
That's been finalized, and I'm losing my mind. And then when Izzy or whatever they do with Izzy at 185, honestly, he should at least be in the conversation for a title fight now with 5 wins in 7 months.
Well, the rankings just came out and they put him at number 10, so that's not going to happen. He's not there yet, right? If he's at 10, but there's definitely a bunch of good fights there, and I think if I had to guess, I'd say his next fight would probably be Derek Brunson. He wants to fight Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson was talking shit. Derek Brunson's coming off that really big win against that young kid, Shemaev. Is that say his name? Or Shabazian.
Edmund Shabazian.
Shabazian. That's a really good fight. That's 2 top 10 guys in that division. That is a great fight. That's the fight I want to happen for sure.
Oh, I want to see Kevin like you. I'm on the Kevin Holland bandwagon now. Like I'm all on board for Kevin Holland after that knockout. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Dude, no one's ever done that to Jacare, though.
No.
Jacare
bent him backwards. He bent him backwards while punching him still.
I know. And Kevin Holland closed as the underdog in that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a minus underdog, so it was a very, very small underdog, but he was still an underdog. But yeah, he looked great, man. You cannot count out Kevin Holland against anybody. And I forgot that whole thing when his first fight in the UFC was that 2 days notice fight against Thiago Santos.
Yeah,
Kevin Holland gives 0 fucks. So
absolutely
zero. And I love him for it so much. Because a lot of guys talk, right? A lot of guys say that kind of stuff. I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. Kevin Holland does it. He fights Thiago Santos on 2 days notice, right? He fights 5 times in a year against really tough people, right? The guy who had the knockout of the year, right? The biggest win of knockout wise of the year, Joaquin Buckley, got knocked out by Kevin Holland. Another great knockout. Dude, this guy's a monster. I love him to death. I can't wait for him to fight. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to wait maybe 6 weeks for him to fight again now.
Yeah.
I hope he gets another 5 in next year if he's healthy.
Me too. Yeah, I want to see him go on that tear and see if he can do 10 in a year, because I don't think anybody's ever done that before.
Well, I don't think 10's really possible. However, 5 and 7, that means 10 and not too lean.
Well, 10 in a year means 5 fights again in however much time. So as long as he hits December with 5 more wins and he gets 10 in a year by December, I could see him doing that. I really can. After that victory,
that'd be 10 in 2 years, right? Or a year? What do you mean? That'd be a year and 7 months.
Yeah.
If he had 5 by May, because his first one this year was in May, so he has by May. You can count in a year. So when May hits, he may have 2 more by May.
Could be.
Maybe even possible. 3 the way he's been fighting. I hope he does, because as long as he's healthy, he's one of those guys who wants to fight, and the UFC loves those guys, especially now, right? With guys who take any fight. Dude, he was supposed to fight Jacker Manson on a really short notice, and that guy's a monster, right? And then he got COVID. He was asymptomatic, but they had to move him to the next card, and he fought Jacare, dude. He's a real tough guy. He's older, but he's real tough. He looked great, dude. Yeah. Have I told you how much I love him? Like I said, his name is all over my Trapper Keeper. Kevin Holland, those creepy S's and a bunch of hearts and gel pen.
That was insane, man. Just wow. This fight, I liked it. It was a good fight.
This is a really good fight.
Yeah, they both women. Verna went hard. I heard her name like Jandaroba, I think.
Jandaroba.
This girl, I have to say something because
Ray,
it's a topic of discussion.
Do you have to?
At the party I was at for this.
Ray, do you really have to? All right. I'm gonna say you don't. You don't have to.
I you know me. I had to edit something out.
I know. That's what I'm telling you right now. I'm making sure you know that we're live right now, right? Like, just so you know, if you say something, it's gonna stay. I don't, whatever it is, I do not condone it. I already know it's coming. I don't know exactly what's coming, but I know it's going to be something I'm not going to be proud of. So go ahead.
This girl, Jandaroba, has some of oh no. Sorry, just got a message from somebody.
Okay.
But
everything okay?
Yeah, for them that I know of.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to start calling her googly eyes. Like,
you are a monster, man. That's not cool, man.
No, I'm not. And I told you also, she was one of the most handsome women I've ever seen fight in the octagon. I'm not putting any disparity on her, but like, whew.
You're a monster, Ray.
Here's the thing about Jandaroba.
A terrible, terrible person. More evidence that Ray Hyclock is a terrible human being.
I don't consider myself a terror. If I knew her, I would be her best friend. I think she would be a cool person to be around. But at the same time, I mean, I know I'm not a 10 by any stretch, but like, it was just a topic. Her eyes were a topic of discussion at the party. And
you know what I was thinking? Damn, this chick can fight.
Yeah. No, once the bell rang, for sure. She definitely, it's just, you look at her and you're like, what?
Yeah, all right. You know what? No, I'm going to ignore that and just say, what surprised me in this fight was how good Mackenzie Dern's stand-up looked. I mean, it was surprising that it was a stand-up fight because these are two black belts in jiu-jitsu. They're both very good at it. They're both fantastic. And that happens often when there's like a bit of a stalemate at one part of the game that it turns into the other part of the game, right? So she was stuffing her takedown, so it ended up being a stand-up war. And I figured, and I said this to you, if that happens, I thought Jandaroba would win this fight. However, I didn't realize how good Mackenzie Dern was going to look on her feet. And she looked great. I mean, she did get a little overzealous. Sometimes she was throwing big like haymakers, and she was throwing what was I going to say? She was leaning a little bit with some of her punches too. But she's a lot better on her feet than she ever has been before. And this fight was super freaking close. Like, it came down to the third round. The third round was very close. They gave it to Dern. That's fine. It's fine. It was very close, though. It was a heck of a fight. I picked Jandaroba, but that wasn't too bad of a pick because it was a damn good fight. And she was very close to winning it.
Yeah. And that's the thing that, like, I was more because Mackenzie Dern's more notable for her ground game in the UFC. She's got a lot of submissions.
World champion. That jiu-jitsu win against Gabby Garcia, which is super impressive because at the time Gabby Garcia was at least 100 pounds heavier than she was.
And that's why I like Mackenzie Dern, man. She's showing that her time in the UFC, she's becoming more of a well-rounded fighter. Jandaroba, I gotta say, man, she's a fast striker. I like her striking style a lot.
She's kind of nuts. She's a bit of a firecracker. She's fun though. She's fun for sure. No, and I knew that. I saw her fight before. I knew she was going to be like that. That's why I picked her to win, but she didn't. But it's very close, very close. I mean, she doesn't have too much to be bummed out about. That was a good fight for her too.
Oh yeah, dude. And it was kind of cool to watch those two ladies. And even they said on commentary that you have two world-class ground game artists getting into a fist fight. And it was kind of cool to see two people who respected each other's ground games enough to be like, yeah, let's not do this and let's make this basically a boxing exhibition. I liked it, dude. And
great takedown defense with Jandaroba too. She stuffed a lot of takedowns from McKenzie.
oh yeah, it was fun, man. But let's move on. I brought up on the website, we're using the UFC's website, UFC.com, for this fight. And if you look at the stats, they're right there for you. Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira. Tony didn't look like Tony at all. There were some times where motherfucker got a little got slick, tried to do a Darce choke, really tried for that Darce choke, and I think it was the second round. But I'm not saying anything of a bad nature. He just came off of one of the most brutal fights that he's probably ever been in against Justin Gaethje. But Tony Ferguson did not look like T Ferg at all against Charles Oliveira. 3 takedowns, as you can see. I'll pull this up, and they were with ease. Charles Oliveira was able to do this. Tony was great defensively, but yeah, Tony didn't look like Tony. He just looked off. He looked off, and it was kind of bad.
Yeah, he didn't really in this fight, and he looked better in the last fight, but definitely got beat up some, even though that fight against Gaethje was really good. But the reason for both of those fights, him not looking like himself, is very, very simple. He got beat by people that are better than him. That's all it is, man. Like, Oliveira looked fantastic. He looked great, and Tony just couldn't handle him. Now you're thinking, man, if he ever would have fought Khabib, it would have been like that, but probably worse, because he kept taking him down. He kept smothering him on the ground. He beat him up on the feet too. Dude, Oliveira, we knew Oliveira was good. It's just the only thing was when he got big shots or big fights, the big day, the big fight, right? The big one. Blah blah. I got to keep stumbling over my own words. When he fought the big one, he didn't really show up. He did this time, and he looked like the best Charles Oliveira we've ever seen by a lot. And he was better than Tony Ferguson, and that's why that's what he looked. What's it look like? It looked like he was better than Tony Ferguson, and he beat him up because he was better than him. In that Gaethje fight, Gaethje beat up Ferguson because he was better than he was. So, I mean, and for a while, because Tony was winning a lot, we thought maybe he was untouchable. But then he's fighting these two guys that are really, really good. You forget that you kind of think that there's another level too, right? And Khabib's probably even a level above those guys because of what he did to Gaethje. But dude, Oliveira looked fantastic. He was awesome. Ferguson is still good. I'm sure he's going to still have a couple more fights. Not like a top 5 fight now. Right? This is a bit of a crossroads fight for him. He'll go from like one part of the division, the rankings to another. He's maybe like in a top 10 now. I didn't look when they moved him, but he's still tough, and he'll still be excited to see him fight. But there's definitely guys that are better than him, and Oliveira is definitely one of them. Also, Tony was obviously there to fight, or else he would have tapped that armbar because that thing was nasty.
Oh my god, that armbar! I thought he was gonna tap. I really did. Luck for if that would have, I honestly think give it 10 more seconds, and that would have, if it would have been 20 seconds left, and Charles Oliveira put that arm over Tony's arm to give it a little bit more leverage on that before that timer went off, we would have been talking about this being a one rounder. Because when Charles Oliveira, I will say this, when he had top position and then immediately went right in to that armbar, I thought it was over. Right. I really did, because he put enough pressure. He had the thighs together across the bicep. He was ready to go, and then he was extending out and extended Tony out into a crucifix. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the thing. His foot placement was amazing on the crook of the elbow, and when he tried to go in for that pull down, and then Tony was still kind of trying to fight it, and just that elbow was just, it had to have been just destroyed after that. That was insanity to see that.
Yeah, I watched the video. A doctor breaking it down. I can't remember the name of the channel, or else I'd say it. But he's a doctor, and he's breaking down this armbar and what was actually happening.
Does he have
to
his
his
own
arm.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think his name was.
I'm going to try and get him on in 2021.
Sutterer, I think his name is, or yeah, I think it's Sutterer. What's his name? Anyway,
I know, like the MMA doc. That's another guy.
It's a cool channel that guy has. He talks a lot about injuries and stuff in all sports, but he went over that armbar, and I mean, just looking at it, it was nasty, but it was pretty cool when he was breaking down exactly what was happening to which parts of the arm. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's sick. But only Tony Ferguson doesn't tap to that because Tony Ferguson isn't a normal human being. And I just looked at the rankings. This is what they think about him. They moved him from 3 to 4, Tony. So,
we know what he's still going to be doing.
Right. Tough guys. Maybe like him and Dan Hooker would be good.
Yeah.
But now Oliveira finally looks like the guy we thought he would be for a while when he was fighting featherweight, but he was having weight problems with featherweight, right? That was a problem. Now he's coming up and he has this win. I think 7 or 8 in a row now. He just finished Kevin Lee, had this great fight against Ferguson. So now you want him to fight Chandler, Gaethje, Connor, Dustin Poirier, whoever wins that fight, one of those. Whoever beats whoever wins the Poirier McGregor fight against Oliveira, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
I haven't heard yet. I think the rumblings are that next card needs another big fight because it's not a super stacked card yet, although Connor is on it. I think right now they have the co-main event is like and Collarwood, which I hope they get another fight. They're talking about, I think, possibly Chandler Gaethje. They haven't said it for sure yet.
That would be sexy.
I really hope so because it's a badass fight. And
I want to see Michael Chandler in 2021 inside the octagon, just because
I've already seen it, man. UFC 4. They put him in the game.
Did they?
Yeah. They
didn't know that.
I like a lot of the updates they just did. A lot of good ones. They finally have a good flush knockout now.
Do they?
Like a walk-off. Finally a good walk-off knockout now.
Yeah, that's have you ever played like EA MMA?
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Yeah, I like their I liked what they did with like their knockouts and everything like that.
Right, and that was an EA Sports game too, right? The other ones were I don't know what company.
THQ and Ukes.
All right.
Yeah, same people that made WWE.
I don't play it a ton, but I play a little bit when new stuff comes out. I tried the new stuff that's on there, and they added new fighters. They added Chandler and Alex Perez.
Nice.
So
very nice. Yeah, man. Like I said though, with that Tony thing, I don't really count the Gaethje loss as like a big loss, just because of what his body was put under. And I'm not being an apologist. He lost to Justin Gaethje, but when you do 2 weight cuts like that, I think honestly and also a totally different fighter. You're gonna have a thing. This just wasn't the Tony didn't show up because Tony didn't show up. It's pure and simple, dude.
I just don't think you can take anything away at all from Oliveira. Like, he didn't show up. I think Oliveira just beat his ass, man. you know, that's what it looked like to me, man. You can say he didn't show up, dude. Oh, don't take a scotch of this win away from Oliveira. He looked badass,
and I'm not
the hell out of the dude.
I would never do that, especially with a win like that, man.
So
that was a pure
Tony
sexy
showed
win.
up. Just Oliveira was just better. He was so much better, and he looked fantastic. And also, I mean, it tells you how much everyone respects Tony Ferguson, right? We knew Gaethje was really good, but when he beat Tony Ferguson like that, holy shit, Gaethje's a monster, right? We knew he was really good, but then, oh crap, he might be Khabib, right? That was the thought, right? And now Oliveira does it to Tony. Holy shit, man. Oliveira, man, where's this guy been, right? We knew he was good, but after he does that to Tony Ferguson, holy shit, right? So, there's still a lot of love for Tony Ferguson. And like I said, he's going to have some more fights, as many fights as he probably wants, unless he keeps losing. I don't think this is the Tyrone Woodley thing at all. I think you can actually see Woodley slipping a little bit. But Ferguson, I think he just got beat by some guys that were needed to make their names known. And that was their biggest shot against Tony Ferguson, and they did it. They stepped up and they did it with Gaethje and now Oliveira.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where, I agree with you that Charles Oliveira just looked like a complete animal with, some steak in its teeth ready to go, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was happy to see that win, because one, I picked Charles Oliveira, so I was happy about that.
You did.
And it was definitely just a beatdown for 3 rounds. So, Plus, also Tower 7 was not in Ferguson's corner. I noticed Eddie Bravo did not make the trip to Vegas, so I don't know if him and T Ferg are talking or anything like that. I don't know what the story is.
No. Hey, if Eddie Bravo isn't there, he's probably in a government bunker somewhere with a black bag over his head because he knows too much. Right?
Yep,
that's what it is with Eddie Bravo. He knows too much.
Said too much about the virus, man. Said way too much.
All these conspiracy theories are right. He's always right on. They want to know where he's getting his information. He's in Area 51 in a bunker with a black bag over his head.
Well, it would be a nice fitting end for Eddie Bravo. Oh,
it would be. I knew it. I
fucking knew it. I knew it. They're people. Soylent Green is people. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This main event,
Ray, I like this fight, Ray.
This
is a good fight, Ray. Like I said, man, I like Alex Moreno a lot. Not Moreno. Brandon Moreno. I got two guys mixed up again. Brandon Moreno a lot, dude. He's super fun and he's nuts, and that's how he fought. Man, he fought like a Mexican. Like, okay, this is one of those stereotypes. As far as sports go, it seems positive.
What do you mean, like a Mexican, huh?
Like I said, it seems positive that Mexicans are vicious fighters and they're badasses. All right. If you don't like that, fine. I'm also just saying the fighters, right? Mexican fighters are badasses. All right. If someone wants to say all Mexicans are badasses, fine. That's fine. I'm just trying not to get myself in trouble. I'm saying this is a positive stereotype. We're talking about fighters. They're badasses. And he fought like one of those badass Mexicans, like we said. And even though he didn't win, I think this guy's performance in this fight is going to help MMA happen in Mexico. I think it's coming up some too. He's going to be the face of it. I hope so, because we want more Mexicans in MMA because, like I said, they're vicious fighters. So we want, great boxers in MMA, boxers from Mexico. We want those guys to fight MMA too from Mexico. But this fight was really good. I think Figueiredo did barely outpoint him. However, there was that low kick, and Herzog took the point. So it ended up being a draw. When I was looking for the decision, I'm like, it has to be a draw because it looked like 3-2 for Figueiredo, but there was the -1 point for the low blow. Yeah. So and also I was so happy he took that point away. Number one is like the third foul or something, at least the second or third foul. It was the first low kick, but he hit him so hard, and Moreno just fell to the ground. He was coughing, and he got him good. And we said a bunch of times, I mean, at least I think they don't take points nearly enough. If they started taking points a lot more, I think you see less of those, right? Because guys wouldn't even try to do those inside leg kicks a lot if they know if they're going to get him once, even by accident, there's a good chance I might lose a point. It happened less, man. It happened a lot less, right? And to see one finally happen in a championship fight, and it really meant something. Yeah. It needed to happen, man. And it was, like I said, it was a terrible blow, and he deserved to get a point taken because he messed Moreno up, man. He really hurt him with that illegal shot, and he should get a point taken for it. And he did. And that's the reason it was a draw.
Oh, yeah. And like that, this year, 2020 so far in MMA has been the year of the dick kick and the foul. Like that's, this is like, it's almost like the baseball's dead ball era, or like recently in hockey,
dead balls era.
Yeah. No kids getting made after 2020 if you're an MMA fighter. It's over. People want to talk about vasectomies. Jesus fucking Christ, what a way to get one. But like, yeah, even like the dead puck era, we had that in hockey when the Pens were kind of more the dominant team. They found a way to use a lot more movement and stuff like this. This is going to be the year that's going to be talked about for several reasons besides coronavirus affecting MMA. We've had so many fouls this year happening inside that cage that it's like, how the hell do you not talk about this being a year where like they had to introduce a 5-minute clock at one point to like keep stuff together,
and the replay. The Chris Tognoni rule.
Yeah.
As we call it, but it's the replay rule. And they did in boxing too. And unfortunately, when they should have been used for the good in boxing recently, it wasn't. That was that guy getting ripped off for that headbutt they didn't have, and that phantom headbutt. There was actually a punch. Ridiculous. Anyway, I hope that guy's getting his title shot again. Now I forget where I was. Oh, we talk about it all the time. Like all the eye pokes and groin shots, they're accidental, right? When they're accidental. However, and we talked to fighters, right? Andrew Law, Drew Schottenheimer both said this. You're responsible for your own weapons.
Yep.
Your duty as a fighter is to make sure you do not put your finger in his eye hole. Make sure you do not kick him in the cup. That's your job as a fighter. You are responsible for your own weapons. So while you get 1,001 warnings before you get a point taken is ridiculous to me, especially when a lot of those shots, like that groin shot with Figueiredo on Moreno, they mean something, man. They hurt him real bad. Eye pokes all the time. Guys have blurry vision because of that, almost always. But you just said, oops. Oops, we'll just give him a warning. The warning is walking in the cage, man. You know you're not allowed to do that. You know you got to close your fists, man. You should have to give him a warning. You're already well aware of those things. You can't poke people in the eye. You can't hit people below the belt. It's your responsibility not to do that. So why did they get 1,000 oopsies? They shouldn't, man. It's about time that somebody took a point away in a big fight so people know, hey, this is serious. If you do this, you're going to lose points.
Yeah. And that was something that was brought up on Combat. Who does the morning combat show?
Okay. Luke Thomas.
Who does the okay, Luke Thomas brought that up, that it was, and you brought it up as well, the third foul that happened, and you could tell that why is the referee not coming to me?
Herzog.
Jason Herzog. Yeah, Jason Herzog needed to get control of that fight because it was getting a little dirty. I'm not saying that Figueiredo meant to throw, right into the beanbag of Brandon Moreno, but it was, something that needed to be put under control because it had been, they both shared eye pokes in that round as well. Or was that the first round? I believe it was the first round. But anyway. Yeah, man, I thought that was a great move. And yeah, I thought it was, immediately following the fifth and final round, I was giving it, believe it or not, to Moreno because of that point deduction, honestly, because it could have been a 10-8 round for Moreno, in the third round, I believe. I can't remember, whenever Moreno was on top of Figueiredo at one point. But
I only watched it the one time. I don't remember which round was which.
Yeah. But no, I went in to get a drink, my last drink at my buddy's house, and immediately my head went, what if this is a fucking draw? And I was, and for this fight to be that way, after how intense it was, it should have been. That's how you want it to end. Looking back on it.
Yeah. And Dana White already said he plans on them running that back as soon as they're both ready to go, which is fine. I'll watch that again. I'll pay for it again because it was a good fight.
Yeah.
It was a really good fight. And I'm sure it will be a good fight again, even if one of them finishes the other one. Those guys are both nuts. They both fight hard. Oh, also Figueiredo was in the hospital till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right. He had some stomach issue. That's crazy, man. They almost had to go to their backup. They had a backup weigh in. I forget his name because he's new to the company. But they had a guy. I'm assuming that they may have told him around then you may have to fight. I don't know. I forget that guy's name, but he did weigh in, and they weighed in on weight. Because it's kind of what you have to do now with COVID. Is you got to have backups for your main events, for your pay-per-view cards. And they did it with Chandler, and they did it with the lightweight fight, and they did it Saturday night. But yeah, luckily he was able to fight, and he looked good because he's Figueiredo. He looked great, but that's going to put Cody Garbrandt on the back burner, so that's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do now. He may not go to flyweight. He may have a fight at bantamweight. Who knows?
Yeah. It is an interesting spot for him, just not on the fact that he's still also on the IR, so it's a little bit harder to see where you're going to want to put him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's going to depend if he wants to go to flyweight or if he wants to try to get. He's like a fight or two away from bantamweight when gold too, right? So if he fought, I don't know who's up there, Sandhagen or somebody like that in bantamweight. I don't know, somebody.
It's going to be. It's gonna be fun. Last thing I want to get your opinion on, which came across the wire this week, is Yoel Romero signed to Bellator.
Yeah, this is only a little bit surprising because Bellator said they weren't going to sign him at first, right? They may have been doing that on purpose. They may have just tried to see what the market looks like for him, right? But then they ended up signing him. You know what? If Romero goes to light heavyweight, which I think he may, that their light heavyweight division is stacked over there.
Yeah,
with Anthony Johnson, Romero, Phil Davis, Corey Anderson, and the champion. What's his name? Namov. Shoot, I just looked it up yesterday for this very reason. Let me look. Yeah, they have all these great fighters, but it's their champion, whose name I can't remember. So I apologize for that. But he just beat Bader. He's a beast.
yeah.
Nemkov. Yeah, Vadim Nemkov.
Okay. Yeah. I honestly, I don't know how to feel about this with Yoel Romero. Just because I honestly also feel like he could be the number one guy in the number two company. Just based on some of the level of fighters they have in Bellator. He could definitely go on a nice little run. Do I think he could become Bellator champion? Not really.
Well, there's tough dudes. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If he's fighting light heavyweight, which I think is what they said he may do, I don't know. He may fight middleweight, but if he fights light heavyweight, you're like I said, Anthony Rumble Johnson just signed with them. He's great. I'd love to see that fight right away.
That would be a dream match.
Or Corey Anderson or Phil Davis. Machina's over there too. So yeah, just whoever, man, that'd be great.
That would be a legit Phil Davis versus Yoel Romero in a Bellator cage.
Oh. Dude, yeah, man, that's a wrestling fight, man. This is two really tough wrestlers.
Oh my God. And I think they would try and strike with each other. And I got Davis on that. I got Phil Davis winning the stand-up thing.
Man. I'd like to see it. Phil Davis or Corey Anderson or
Corey Anderson would be sexy. That'd be nice. All right, buddy. You ready to call it a day, my friend?
Oh, I have one more thing.
One more thing.
See Mark Hunt sucker punch a dude at weigh-ins that boxing match is about to do?
No.
Yeah. They got each other's face and he fucking hit the dude. That's very un-Mark Hunt. Man, and Mark Hunt's talking more shit, man. We were so close. That would have been so. That's like the best interview in MMA right now because of how much shit he's talking about everybody. We almost had him, man.
I know.
If we would have stayed up later, we would have been able to do it.
Damn alcohol and weed. That
sucks, man, because I really wanted that to happen.
Well, hopefully in 2021 we can get him on.
Maybe. I mean, he's fighting. Well, it's Wednesday over there, so probably I guess soon. Because it's a Wednesday fight over there. They say they think it's going to break Australian pay-per-view records. So good for him. Yeah, him and this rugby player are fighting. Oh, speaking of fucking gimmick fights, dude, fucking Jake Paul. Damn it. Number one, good for internet influencers having this much money, but he said he'd throw $50 million up to Conor McGregor if he fought him.
50,000.
It was more than that. I think.
Was it 50 million?
50 million. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know he had that much.
Yeah, good for influencers having that much money. So yeah, and Dana White said he's thinking about letting Amanda Nunes go fight him.
That would be amazing. I would love to watch that fight.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man. Yeah, I don't. It's the thing with because Dana White would have to sign off on that fight, right? Because he's under exclusive contract with the UFC. He'd have to sign off on it like he did for the Mayweather fight. So, probably won't. But however, man, money talks, and that's a lot of money for anybody.
Yeah, I also saw that he was doing the shit talking of like Conor's scared and everything. It's like he's got other things to worry about right now, you little tool. Stop it.
Who wouldn't you fight for $50 million?
Who wouldn't I fight for $50 million? Not many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Trying to think. My grandmother, but she's dead. So
wouldn't be much of a fight, you're saying?
Huh?
Wouldn't be much of a fight, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. She has a glass jaw, so she goes down easy. It's from all those. My grandfather tested it out with a lot of burnt roasts. So
gotcha. Oh, Dre. Oh, Raymond, what are we going to do with you, Ray?
Keep loving me and keep doing this podcast with me because I have fun. I do, sir.
I guess, man.
It's been fun. We had a nice uptick in listeners and viewers today, which was cool. We appreciate everybody watching on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all live 2 to 3 times a week. Whenever we feel like it, you can catch the audio versions also on.
Are you sure, Ray? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Spotify, Google Podcast. Huh?
Take your media dump. Do it.
I'm going to take my media dump right after we get off the show and I download this episode.
Okay.
And you can get those at Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartMedia. Check it out. We're always on there. There's back episodes of interviews with guys like Sean Lynch, also Andrew Law, Drew Schottenheimer, Eric Posen, and many, many more things. Master Ken, another one, Lucas Mast. Check those out. Give us your support. We are sexy. And I may also be starting up a Venmo, so we can put a link on that and you can give us money so we can get better equipment, so we can get better at doing this. You guys rule. We love you. Tim, do you have anything to plug or anything of a fun nature to tell the people about yourself?
No, not today. I don't think so. No, I think we're good.
Okay. You can follow Tim at Dig Danko. And I will be hosting at Paradise Island December 19th. Wear your masks, $5 tickets at the door. Paradise Island in Euclid. And then my other only date I have so far, I have another one, which is December 21st. I will be at the Funny Stop Comedy Club for the co-feature contest. I moved on with Lawrence Payne and John Brown. And then March 4th, Aaron Berg, which will be a weekend. I will only be hosting one of those shows, but go to all of them. But come see me March 4th, host for Aaron Berg at the Funny Stop Comedy Club, funnystop.com for tickets. Go see that and have a good time. So for Tim Danko, if I can figure out, I never figure out mirroring, God damn it. I am Ray Hyclack. This is the Bro Plata show. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and make sure that you guys are at the Kumite every day or we'll know.
What?